Canada's former Prime Minister, Pierre Trudeau, was a single man most of his life. He was not safe. Justin and Duplessis would agree.
If you wish to leave a record of your call, please state your message at the sound of the tone.
We need to have the conversation. Mothers create refugees. They've done studies. The Syrian refugee crisis has compelled Canada's new Liberal government to allow in 25,000 destitute Syrians. No single male refugees will be admitted. Mothers create single men. Mothers create refugees. Mothers colonize the world heterosexually. Women, children, and families will be let in. This is heterosexist. Every woman knows that mothers create terrorists from having heterosexual sex. So the Liberals' refugee policy is heterosexist, threatening the security of Canadians and legitimate refugees, gay Syrians. It is inherently anti-LGBT. Surprising from a social justice government, every refugee, single man, and terrorist have one source: mothers, cis mothers. It's systemic. Perhaps a more compassionate refugee policy would be to have single male refugees undergo sex reassignment surgery to show that our new government is not transphobic. Out of the 3 billion women on the planet, Caitlyn Jenner has been named Woman of the Year. Canada could save single men by making them the perfect woman, and support the transgendered community's agenda to sterilize mothers' bodies from creating men, the source of biological oppression by nature. It would show the world that Canada is back. By letting in mothers and children, they are setting these poor, oppressed women up for failure. Studies have shown that women with children have a huge disadvantage over spinsters in becoming CEOs of major corporations. It is hard enough for all 15 million Canadian women to become chief executives of banks, energy corporations, and the auto industry. Is it fair to bring these victimized women into this kind of structural oppression? The Canadian economic culture? Out of the frying pan of Syria and into the fire of Canadian systemic injustice. Having identified these two sources of threat to our safety, single male Syrian refugees provide the perfect segue to highlight the greater systemic problem: the structural barriers for all Canadian men to have sex reassignment surgery. Men, like Justin Trudeau, agree that patriarchy cannot be eliminated because of this systemic injustice to men, preventing them from becoming the perfect woman, correcting their mother's error. Until appropriate genetic therapy for fetuses in the womb is developed, this at least is a stopgap measure that would show compassion to all men who suffer because of their body issue and socially constructed identity as men. By cutting off the source of the problem, Canada will become a safe space that the world will look up to. Canada's got back the choice of the Canadian people, how they self-identify, respected around the world. Mothers of sons would be grateful, correcting what their bodies produced, creating the perfect daughter for her.
Please state your message with the sound of the tone.
Marginalized homeless men should be given initial preference for sex reassignment surgery. The pipeline of funding to Medicare could be oiled by new taxes on industry, like video games and sports, digging up the problems of Toronto's streets to be refined at home, making it a safe space, creating middle-class jobs in hospitals, universities, healing men. Gender studies departments at universities can justify the economics of this program with rigid peer review. Of course, each level of government will need new bureaucracies to create the infrastructure for 15 million Canadian patients, stimulating the economy with new middle-class jobs. The possibilities are endless for creating the perfect society that will be the envy of the world, the shining light to lead the world, making the 21st century Canada's century, processing refugees into safe women. It's all rational, so men can heal and rescue society from mothers' bodies, from nature, from the environment. Thank you for making good choices.